Welcome to the summer of the Nordic archipelago, where I'm heading out to a wild island to catch fish and camp the primitive way. Day 1, morning. I'm out with the kayak at a spot that I hope to catch some fish on. Fishing from the kayak can be a bit scary at times, because it's very unstable. I hope I don't catch a huge fish. Pretty soon, I managed to catch a medium-sized pike, about 1 kilo. That's perfect for eating. I got the fish and head out to the outer archipelago to find a nice island. This is an island far out from civilization. My father used to take me here when I was young, but I never actually camped here overnight, so let's do it now. I grabbed my equipment from the kayak, and then it is time to find a cozy place to make camp. Here is a beautiful campsite on a cliff above the sea. The view is amazing, and I can hear the soothing sound of the waves. This is the equipment I have with me. The most important is the lightweight tarp that I can quickly rig up using these small trees as supports. I will be able to create sort of a mini A-frame tent with a middle ridge on the top. This is a very effective configuration that both stops the rain and the wind. The ground beneath my shelter is dry and soft, so it's gonna be very comfy sleeping here, all surrounded by nature and the sound of seabirds. To secure the tarp even better, I'm simply gonna pile on several stones I find near the shore. It is important that the rocks are smooth so that they don't damage the thin fabric of the tarp. Now, as always, let's test the comfort of the shelter, my favorite part. I wonder if I'm gonna be lucky enough to have a mosquito-free night. Usually on these islands, the light nightly breeze keeps bugs away if the wind comes from a favorable direction. Time to do some art. A campfire made out of the finest rocks this island has to provide. Then I will be able to get the fire going and fish cooking. I'm getting very hungry now. At this time of summer, there is plenty of completely dry firewood all around the island. I'll gather enough to slowly cook the entire fish by the flames. And now for igniting the fire, I have but a flint and steel. That's why I need to collect a bunch of dead grass from last year that is also completely dry. This is usually the best kind of tinder you can find around these parks. Important to not take simply dry grass, it needs to be dry grass from last year. It's even brittler and drier and ignites very easily. Awesome, the fire is started just by a few strokes of the steel. Quickly let's pile on small twigs to not lose the fire. Even though it's a fairly warm summer day, the pike has stayed fresh for all of these hours. I clean it up in the sea, salt it, and place it on the rocks by the intense heat of the campfire. I cook the fish as I watch the deep orange evening sun setting ever closer to the dark horizon. In silent solitude, I listen to the low swell of the ocean and watch the various seabirds passing by in the distance. It's perfect, truly. Now it seems that my pike is cooked for the most part. I think I can have my first taste. We just need some salt and pepper to complement the smoky aroma that has come from the open fire. I'll save the rest for tomorrow. The fish is quite heavily salted and the night is cool. This means that it will remain perfectly fresh until tomorrow. Good morning. I awaken to the very early sunrise at around 6 a.m. It's another wonderful day in paradise. This morning, it is time for a near freezing bath in the still cold water. The water is usually not this clear in the Baltic, so it feels very refreshing to swim here. In late summer, we usually get algae and not so clear waters that make me long for the open oceans where the water is clear and you can see far through it. after a cold bath where I lose most of my body heat. What could be better than a campfire and a cup of tea? Let's do that. Actually, I will show you something better than mere tea. What I have with me today is chaga mushroom powder and chunks that I've collected by hand from my parents' forest. The result of this is a dark and bitter drink supercharged with antioxidants and some minerals. It is said to be the elixir of immortality by some, but for sure, it may increase longevity and reduce inflammation, as most bitter and terribly tasting things tend to do. This thing grows as a parasite on birch trees. My high-protein breakfast for today is eggs and pike. No matter what diet you follow, I believe that prioritizing amino acids, that is, animal proteins, is key to maintaining high energy and muscle mass. The carbs and fats are also important, of course, but as long as you get your quality animal proteins, you've got most of what you need covered, and don't end up eating like a slave that has to consume the lowest foods that are cheap. Just eating bread, pasta, beans, and rice and other things in that category as your main source of food will gear you towards the energy and mindset of being a low-class human with no other choice than the most inexpensive and nutrient-poor food. Alright, that's enough shaming of most of you watching. I'm glad you have enjoyed following along this adventure. Subscribe to stay tuned for the next video, and as always, don't forget to get out there.